Testing, testing. Ding. Not very well. Oh, we. Yeah, that's looking better. Hello, 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 folks. Today we are finally getting back to the hardcore world. I know it's been a little while. I don't know if you've missed it like I've mixed it. Clicked the wrong button because I am a dunce. I am a little bit out of sorts today. But whatever, such is life. We all have days where whole back does not quite fire off in the way it's supposed to. Which is a fancy way of saying, I feel dumb today. Yeah, this song fits my mood. Very, very spaced out. Alright, is my keyboard gonna behave itself today? I guess not. Come on. Now the music too. No! Oh, it's gonna be one of those streams, isn't it? Alrighty, let's take a look under the hood. Maybe it's the batteries. I wish there was a way to just look at a battery and be like, yup, that sure is dead. No, I just gotta, like, know with my brain. Do I even have, like, the right kind of batteries to switch in? These ones are probably fine. Maybe I just don't have them pushed in all the way. I don't want to go get new batteries right now, so they're probably fine. Just draw some a little bit. Stick the cap back on. That's probably fine. Come on, keyboard. Alrighty. So first thing we're gonna do is go to bed because it is already getting kind of dark out. So I do chuck some garbage real quick. Background music is a little bit loud. I'm gonna turn that down real quick. That's a little bit better. Sleep. Come on, mother. There we go. Alright, so the plan is to start building the big old centerpiece of our main hall. Right back here. We're also going to probably, just crossed, start knocking out these walls so that we can, like, properly see the height of everything. And I've got a shit ton of resources that I've been collecting for this exact purpose. We may need to go collect some sand for, like, the glass areas that I want in this, but we will figure it out. First thing first, I need dark. I didn't remember to bring the nether brick, did I? Alrighty. Whoop! I'm also probably going to need to stock on rocket. Where have I got some stored away? Have any rockets? Here we go. Alrighty. I have some other brick stuff. Enough to be enough to make a wall. That is what I need. Is 6 enough? Let me check my notes real quick. I need like 8 total. Like, it is just barely too much. That is so annoying, but eh. So, if we have 3, we'd need 12 of these to get another wall crafted. Math is not my strong suit. Alrighty, chuck it here. That's gonna eat this real quick. I also need dark oak slabs and trapdoors. I'll just get a couple of these. And I'm gonna need a couple of stairs. You know what? I am. Boop, boop. Turn the rest of this into stairs. Probably enough to get us started. We're also gonna need slabs. Y'all are noisy. Where did my bluebird go? Oh. Halfway out the door. Weird. Alright. So I have notes about what I'm doing, but we'll see. We'll see if the notes are good enough. So this is the center. So 1, 2, 3. This is going to be where it starts. 1, 2, 3, 4. That. Then we only need 3 of these for now, which is why we can just let that go. 4. 3, and gotta start digging through. Alrighty. Knock some space back here. 4. And after that, no way, I am not jumping or. Come on. 1, 2. One more, but this one have a door either side. We're gonna need to knock another hole because one was not one of my other little here to work. Next one is lab with upside down stairs by the side. So we'll just put this for now so that we can get the angle of the stairs in. Bam. Bam. Did this on a test world, and I made notes for myself so I could reconstruct it here. It wasn't actually in the context of the whole haul, so fingers crossed it fits well. It should. I'm fairly pleased with the design, but we're gonna see. So, then there's the arches either side, and there should be 3 air blocks up this point. Can't really. I have like dirt or something. Another hit point. It is 3, and then this, and that's when like the eye type shape starts. Alrighty. Before I have to switch to my other notes. I never said that my notes are good. I probably should have made them more organized, but too late. Alrighty. Zoom way in. Did I give this the right amount of space? I did. Okay. So, where we kind of start building the central piece of the sun type shape. It's gonna be. I need. Howdy, howdy, Felix. My tongue is tied today. Howdy, howdy, Felix. This is not as big of a space as I thought it would. Well, we'll make sure that it all works out. I don't think I've had you on one of my hardcore streams before. This is my hardcore world. I have been working on it for a while now. Right now we're working on the MEGABASE main hall. And I'm very much finicky about this big central piece. I think it looks good, but at the same time I'm like, could look better, but if I don't make it, I'm never gonna do anything here. So I've just gotta commit, you know? One of those things. If I don't do it, I'm never gonna do it. So, one. Bonkin. Yeah, this is definitely taller than I expected, but that's not a problem. We'll just deal with it. Why have I gone up so far? Went up 2. 2. 3. A little bit more room. Goes up 3. Yeah, I haven't got a hardcore stream. That's fair. I've been kind of hyperfixating on the Sun SMP lately, but this world is also my baby, so I gotta give it some love. Goes here. Then it should go 3 across again. 1, 2, 3. This is going to be, it's probably going to hit the top at the arc up here, but that's fine. I think it'll still look really cool. Kind of goes into it. Now what we gotta do is just come down. Out. Gotta do it up on this side. So, how far up am I? Be the 1, 2. 1. Got to give your hardcore baby some love? Yes. Whoop, my. How's my day been? Very sleepy. I don't know why, but I just have not been sleeping great. I keep waking up at like 6 a.m., which, as somebody who like works a night shift, that is very early. I don't work night shift on weekdays though, so it's not like the end of the world. It just kind of makes me feel groggy. Other than that though, it's been like good, just kind of like spacey. I had a sushi burrito, which is like sushi, but it's big and burrito shaped. Very tasty. That was a good lunch. And I stayed inside and stared at the snow, because I like to stare at the snow, but I do not like to be. Ugh, it is. We've had one of the biggest snows we've had in a couple of years where I live, which, like, we've been needing it. Like, the past couple of years, it's just been snowless. Well, not snowless, but, like, very light. And, like, I live in an area where it's supposed to snow all the time. Like, I used to live an hour away from where I live currently, and there, it would snow high enough that, like, when the snowplow came by and pushed all the snow into one place, like, all the neighborhood kids gathered together, and we, like, would basically pile it up to make a big old snow fort that we all crawled around in. It was like an anthill, but of children in the snow. It was kind of weird, but it was a lot of fun. It doesn't snow as much where I live now, but it's only an hour away, so it's not, like, a huge difference. But, like, past couple of years, just overall snow, not as much. Just, like, it's sad. Like, you know, first of all, climate change, but second of all, I just love snow. Like, what's the point of chilly, cold season if you don't stare outside and see fluffy stuff everywhere? Hold on, dog's trying to get in the room. Let's see, is it Schofield, Otis, or Sadie? Who is it? It's Mr. Otis! Hello! Otis says hello. Where I live, it doesn't snow, so wouldn't know that feeling. Dude, snow is the best. I love snow so much. Being outside in it, not fun. Very cold. It is fun if you are warmly dressed. But, like, if you're not warmly dressed, it is hell. It is, oh, very cold. But, like, the weather lately, if you imagine, like, a Christmas movie or a Christmas card, where it's like, there's big blankets of snow on the ground, but also, like, very light, very, like, dusting of snow is falling from the sky. That's what the weather's been like the past couple of days, and I have just been living for it. It's like, if you are the kind of introvert who loves to, like, be indoors during the rain reading a book, snow is like that, but better. That's just my personal hot take, though. Or I guess I should say cold take. Ayo! Wrong. Fuck. Come on, keyboard! Why is it like this? One of these days, I'm going to die because my keyboard doesn't respond. And then I am going to just smash it with a hand. It's always really wild to me when people say that they live in areas that don't snow. And, like, logically, I get it. There are areas where it is, like, just not snowy year-round, you know? Like, that's normal. Climates and whatnot. But at the same time, my brain just doesn't really get it, because, like, snow has been an integral part of my life for basically my whole life. I have many memories of, like, my dad helping us make, like, a mini igloo for the kids in the yard, or, like, sledding with the other kids. I cannot imagine not having experienced snow, and every time I remember there are people who live in areas without snow, my brain kind of breaks a bit. It's like almost hearing somebody be like, oh yeah, I live in an area where there is no wind, and it's like, you've never experienced this thing that to me is like a basic nature? It is everywhere! How have you not experienced it? And it's like, I understand logically, but like, my primeval monkey brain is just like, no. Everybody knows snow. It's just, I don't know. I do love snow though. Right, am I counting all the blocks out right? Now I need to figure out how to get these arcs in, and this is the part where I feel kind of confused about how to make the angle look. The only time I've experienced snow was when I went to my grandparents' house and made a half mud, half snowman for the first time at like 14. Honestly, I hope you one day get to see very fluffy, thick, crazy snow, because big snow is just, it is a joy. It is a joy, like looking at the ocean. Very good for the senses, very pleasant. Alrighty. Oh. Gonna go about this. Oh, I did not jump. I really need to know those guys. Anyway. So. Like, yes? And. Ow! I'm blaming the scaffolding and not my own poor cursor placement, because I hate scaffolding. Okay. More. Making, like, rounded shapes. It took me years to figure out circles in Minecraft. And now here I am trying to make, like, a fucking sun. This is hubris on another level. Okay, so it goes up 1, and then it went across 2 in my reference image. I'm not even sticking exactly to my reference image because it is actually kind of a very shit reference image and I'm not super happy with it. I'm gonna be changing it a lot. But whatever, we're figuring this out. Alright, so first it goes over by 2. Where I measured out the space when I did my test. How is this so much, like, tighter of a fit on this world? Where I measured out the space when I did my test work. I swear I did. It does kind of arc out to here. Doing better than me, I don't even attempt to do circles. I learned circles from, like, just Googling pixel art circles. There's a lot you can learn about making shapes in Minecraft by just looking at how pixel artists do those shapes. Like, Minecraft has a long and storied history at this point. It's over 10 years old. But pixel artists, they've been around forever. They know shapes. And their shapes may have been 2D, but they still, like, they're like the grandparents of Minecraft. And learning from them makes everything, like, I don't know about easier, but it makes it more approachable and possible to learn. Still waiting for the day Mojang lets us, like, combine slabs of different types on the same block space. It's such a small thing, but I want it so badly. And I'm not even, like, a expert type builder, I'm just, like, an okay-ish builder, but I want it. I want it so bad. Okay. Going about this. I know that I fixed it, but I don't have the fixed version in my references. I'd have to... Alright, I'm gonna go grab the... I did it in the mobile version. I'm gonna go grab the mobile that's got it on it. Alrighty. Please tell me that it's not dead. It has 1%, so I can't use it because it's gonna die. Gosh darn it! I suffer when I try to improvise builds because they turn out looking wonky, and then I suffer when I try to plan them because all of my plans go missing. L? You L upon me! How rude. Alright, can at least figure out the side angles and how they kinda all mesh in. I'm just comforting myself with the reminders, like, it'll all look super sick when it's done. It's okay that it hurts so bad right now. The suffering will end. It will be good and cool. Okay. So, I need to build a level with the center. Or, come on, keyboard. Keyboard! I'm inputting keys. Why does it only respond when I throttle it? Okay, so this is going to be a block out to the edge. Okay. Brain, do the thing. First, need these. Where out is it? Block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4. Otis, are you about to beg me to let you out? You're gonna have to wait a second because I'm doing a big brain. Right, that was... Well, that's fine. I am figuring it out as I go. should be. There we go. This, that, you can sort of fake vertical half slabs by combining trapdoors. It's thick, it's thinner, and you can only put it on the joint between two blocks. But when you're doing vertical curves that are like really narrow, this helps, at least for me. Probably a good spot to do out. I'm gonna oh. Otis, do you need to be let out? Alright, just a second, guys. Otis must be freed. Oink! Go. Ugh. My left hand is cramping up. Why does it do that? That's the one I don't use. Free like the bird. No man can cage Otis. Speaking of dogs, the other day, one of my family's dogs, the big one, Schofield, jumped over the fence. We have, there's like a little creek behind my family's house. Well, I say my family's, my parents. But like there's a creek out back. And the fence that leads to the creek is shorter than all the other ones, so you can look at it and be like, oh, there's water. Well, somebody thought it would be a great idea to jump over it in the middle of winter and to go for a swim. He was perfectly fine, very happy with himself. I guess he didn't care that he was freezing cold. But he lost his bandana and we couldn't find it in the creek, so Schofield is a very naughty boy. Like if I could bring this. The only real way to do that is kind of get out. It doesn't look great, but I want to have the. Yeah, this is probably the best we can work. How do we? Oh, oh. Right. This isn't how it was in the test version, but the test version is kind of garbage, so I have to do some finagle experiment. Joke's on Schofield, though. A couple days later, my mom had him shaved because he kept shedding hair everywhere. Think you can jump over the fence and get all wet? Now you're naked. I am thinking so hard. Smoke is pouring out of my ear. Smells like gasoline in the house because of all the smoke from my earlobe. That's good enough for now. Let's just try and figure out how we want to take that. And the dogs we got, very naughty, also not very intelligent. I remember this one time, Otis got into the garbage can. We, I guess, left the door to where the garbage is kept open. Got in there, and he licked an avocado peel. And if you didn't know, avocado is bad for dogs, similar to like grape stuff. And it made him vomit. Still tries to steal avocado if it's out and about. Same as like with chocolate and shit. Like dogs do not care if it is lethal to them. They will try to eat so bad. Like, they were like, oh, poison? Poison? Clearly this is a snack just for me. Like, they are actively trying to put themselves in harm's way, it feels like. I don't. Said it. I'm gonna soften it. Doesn't do much. They just go, food. That's fair. And like, when you think about it, I stuff my face with ice cream, even though I know that's like completely sugar. I go to the fair and I'm like, oh shit, they're selling like fried mozzarella, deep fried Oreos. Like, humans aren't much better, are we? Like, just being real. I would probably also poison myself if chocolate were poisonous. Taste good, goes in body. Surely that is just nature's law. Speaking of things that are like not supposed to go in your body, it is so funny to me that things like peppers evolved to be spicy, specifically to stop things from eating them. Oh, gonna go. Hope the rest of this game goes well. That's alright. Have a good night, Felix. Take care. But yeah, like, it's wild that like peppers were like, oh yes, we will evolve capsaicin in order to prevent predators from eating us because it will stimulate their pain receptors. Some humans are just like, oh hell yeah, spicy food. Like, it was actively trying to stop us. And then we were like, yeah, that sounds good. That sounds like most human thing. I guess that. Alright, how do we want. That's probably the best way to figure this out. So we need to mirror this, but I also want to try and the top piece of the face. I also need to figure out if there's a way to like adjust the angle. I'm not sure if I'm in love with it. You may have to wait till I can properly back up and get a wide angle look at it. As is, we are kind of penned in on all sides by awkward stone in the way of like pop up here. Very least. That was all of the yoink. Alright. We want it to go that. Top of that we put. We can. Gosh darn it. It is a good thing that I have the feather falling on, because this build alone would have killed me so many times. Alright, what's the... Okay, clearly I'm banging my head on some rocks. We're just... Sure, we've got a little bit more headroom. Then we'll be able to... What is the... Out. Then it goes... Trap doors. Yep. Okay. Back over here. I'm on up. And around. Whoop. This one. Over to the side. Yeah, because more trapdoors. I put my crafting table. Need my soda pop. Sharpen my brain. Couple of these. Bunch of them. It's hilarious. And by hilarious, I mean annoying. That trapdoors take more wood to make than slabs. They're like way skinnier. Make it make sense, Minecraft. Actually, don't. Making slabs expensive. At least by most people. Alright. Up. Side and pop both those. Then which one goes after that? It's kind of hard to say what I'd like to do for illusion. I'd like to make it look like it's further away up here, which I could do by making it shorter. Instead of, I think it was a block space. I would just do block space. Not a big difference, but just like a little bit of forced perspective. Just to push it a little harder. It was slab. Yeah. And that slab has, actually I need to break it anyway, because of the way the slab gets, the stairs have to be placed either side and whatnot. Okay, no, not here. This is why I shouldn't do finicky builds. So, slab, aerial, but this. No! Okay, I'm kind of losing my mind. I think I know how this is supposed to go. Ah! Okay. I gotta go back up here. This is like the most inconvenient way to move around, but almost got it moving in the right direction. I actually think that I might put some like redstone moving bits behind this just to make it look even more mechanical, but honestly, we're gonna have to wait and see, because I don't know if that'll work well or if it might cause unnecessary lag, or I don't know. I'm thinking about it, but I'm also a little. So from here, it switches to blocks. But first, oh god damn it! Literally, that was the simplest jump ever. And don't put me in Parkour Warrior or anything. Okay. You know, irony is I actually really enjoy platforming games. So I guess you don't have to be good at something to enjoy it. Those two, and then it switches. Bad boys. Oh yeah, this absolutely less than I absolutely thought this was taller. Well, it's still gonna fit and look very, very grand. Just gonna be a little bit seemingly further out the top. One more wall. Not wall. You know what I mean. I am just bad at words. Alright, back on. There. I do have a slight issue. That is, how am I going to connect this up now that it's... Well, we figured things out. We are big kids. So... This? Do I have slabs? I'm out of slabs. Gotta make some. Oh. Here. Go up again. One. And we can figure out dynamic that in a minute. I just start mirroring everything. Mirroring everything. I think words should be illegal. Alright. Starting to come. So this side. More. Whew. Always with the resource. Alright, one block goes the way it's actually also pushed down. Going with it for now. We'll figure it out as we work. Doing it bit by bit. Another trap door. Where's the crafting table? There it is. Make, get, put, transform. Oh, by the way, I finished main story of Pokemon Scarlet. Well, Violet. I don't know. Yes, it's... Why did I say Scarlet if I don't have Scarlet? Yeah, you can really tell I am not fully there today. Anyway, so... Anyway, I finished the story mode, like all 3 branches, plus like the branch where they are all united. I don't think it's too spoilery to say, like it's just like where it brings all 3 storylines together, involved with each other. It's not spoiler. Anyway, it was really good. Like, the game is very, very flawed as a game. A lot of bugs, there are issues with balancing. As a game, very messy. I have some issues with the graphics, although I do think it is better than Sword and Shield. It definitely still has a lot of issues. But like, story-wise, I honestly think this is one of the best stories for a Pokemon game since Black and White. Which, Black and White was basically the first time story was important or good in Pokemon. That's high praise. Like, it's hard for me even to say, like, oh, this is better or Black and White is better. Because, like, Black and White has the advantage of, like, nostalgia bias, but also Scarlet and Violet has the advantage of recency bias. I think both of them have really wonderful stories. I can't really choose a preference, just again, because of those biases. But, like, I really loved the story. I'm not going to say anything about what that story is, because I don't want to spoil anything for people who are playing the game. Just, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very good. I thought the characters felt very fleshed out, very interesting, and I got very attached to them. And I very much wanted to hug many of them. Like, Penny is, like, a wonderful girl, and also kind of a sassy little bitch, but, like, in a good way. I love her. Penny, Penny. Oh, Penny, my beloved. Ah, Penny. But then there's also Nimona. Love me a Genki girl. Oof, oof, she's so cute. She's so enthusiastic. She's such a good rival. Like, she starts out the game, like, better than you, canonically. But, like, she intentionally uses weaker Pokemon and, like, starts with new Pokemon because she wants to be your rival and she wants to give you a fighting chance. And she's cheering you on and is excited as you get better than her and start beating her fair and square. And she's, like, so encouraging. And then at the very end, again, can't spoil things, but like she's just such an encouraging and enthusiastic rival, and like she loves battling and Pokemon, and Nimona's so cute, man. And Arvin, sweet baby boy, I am signing the adoption papers. Like, nobody gonna treat you right but me, my son, my sweet son, and his beloved puppy dog. Oh, I really loved the story. It felt fun. And I know that's like a weird thing to say because like it's a video game. Of course it's supposed to be fun. But like it didn't feel like it took itself too seriously, but it also didn't feel half-assed or like it didn't care. Like it was a story that very much cared about itself, but also didn't get its nose stuck up its own rear end, you know? Like it was a lot of fun. It wasn't as serious and like, oh, this is very important high fantasy as like X and Y felt, which I loved X and Y. I don't love his word. Kind of personal. This is all very personal. But like, this is like the perfect balance of this is an exciting adventure with like fantastical elements and very deep, interesting lore with the idea of like, okay, we live in a world with like animated ice cream cones. We don't have to take it like super seriously. It's okay if we jump the shark now and then. No, it was a lot of fun. I really loved the story. The big Area Zero that the game is centered around. Not going to talk about the contents again. Don't want to spoil things, but like I thought the way it was designed, like geographically, was very. It honestly, like, I do feel like it was a little bit sparsely decorated with like, foliage, especially for an area that's supposed to be like almost untouched by humans. But like the geological formations, at risk of sounding incredibly, but like the cave and the huge towering cliffs, and the overhangs, like it was so cool. It kind of made other areas in the region look boring almost. Like it might have been too cool for its own good. To be honest. Again, I have a lot of things that I would critique, and I have actually talked about that in past like certain that I take with this game and all of the Pokemon games just as a whole, but like especially generation. I definitely have my fair share of critiques I take with Scarlet and Violet and the Pokemon Company as a company. But like I felt like even though this game was pretty broken, it did help recapture some of that wonder, which I still personally think that Legends Arceus was a better, but I liked the story. Again, personal preference, can't speak for everybody, but that's how I felt. Very much enjoyed it. I'm kind of finicky actually now that I think about it. Block Center is good because I can make it pointed, but it also is like kind of awkward in the way it's built. I think since we're looking at it from below, it would probably be better to board split this feel like that'll look narrower from below. That doesn't look as bad as I was worried it. Gotta go that on the other side. Truth, it is centralized, right? Yep. Centered very well. Alright, I think we're mostly clear to knock out enough of the stone to see what we're doing now. Oh, if this is not, like, at least decent, I'm going to be so... It should be okay. I've done a lot of designing and thinking, and this isn't how it's going to be, like, 100%. It's also going to have stuff behind it, and, like, to fill it out, like, with glass, so that it doesn't look, like, completely empty. But, all goes well, should it be the beginnings of a very centerpiece for the main hall. And I've been procrastinating because, like, part of the reason I actually haven't been on this for in a while, besides, like, just hyperfixating on the Sun SMP, is because I don't really want... I haven't really wanted to work on other builds or projects in this world until I got this back wall in, but I've been very anxious about making it look good, so I keep putting it off. So that's a big part of why it's been a while since my last hardcore update. So I actually have done a decent amount of grinding for wood off camera so that I would have enough to actually, like, do this. And I do think it's looking pretty cool, though I just realized I fill out the spruce logs in those corners. That's fine, I can come back, I've got plenty of scaffolding. Kind of annoyed at myself, but it's the world, gotta be chill. Mistakes happen. I can just roll with the punches. I am an adult. Mild issues like this will not ruin my day, even if it feels like they are catastrophic. Drawing this in a way that doesn't just leaf myself down in the next row is actually a little bit more than I expected. Being able to see, like, the room start to open up slowly is very, like, we have removed one layer and look how tall that is. Main hall is gonna look so cool with all the, like, support layers taken out. I'm getting excited about this build again, man. I've played around with a couple different ideas of what's gonna be behind the sun. I definitely want to, like, use colored glass so that it's not just, like, really, like, I've used a lot. And it's still going to be in a similar palette, so, like, oranges and browns, maybe, like, a little bit of red. But, like, there's also going to be blocks behind that so that it doesn't look like hollow. And then behind the sun, which will have a blocked off space, it's going to have its own, like, mechanical wall. I want it to look like gears and such, but I might also include redstone elements to make it look like things are moving. Not functional redstone, it's not going to be, like, doing anything, but it should make it look like things are moving. I don't know if I'm going crazy or if I can hear a Miss Sadie outside my door. Let's go check. Ugh. Sadie, are you trapped? Oh, poor girl. That Miss Sadie was outside not being kissed. Everybody tell her hello and give her your condolences that she was not getting attention immediately. Let us rectify that. Center of attention, Miss Sadie. Center of attention. Go. Cuddling up on the bed? help you? Oh, a little wag. So, fun fact about Sadie that you would not know since you cannot see her. She's part pug, but because she's only part, her tail is like curled, but not like the way in a pug's is curled. It's like, imagine the tail of a beagle, and then imagine that it looks like it's been broken. Her tail isn't broken, it just has like this natural arc in it, but it's not enough of an arc to look curly. So it just kind of looks like her tail is constantly flopped over to the side. It looks so dorky, and it makes her wags very awkward. It's so cute. Like, she's such a weird little beast. I love Miss Sadie very much. My family say she's ugly cute. I think she's just cute, but maybe that's because she has a face only a mother could love, and I am her mother. Yes, I am a cringy dog parent who talks about her being my baby. I am not ashamed of what I am. I've come to embrace the dark side. Saw that blue down there, and for a moment I was thrown off because I didn't know what it was. Turns out it's water. Alright, oop. Ow. Oh, already, like, this is just a little less than half of the space that we're gonna have, but already, like, this feels so cool. I love how big this is. I love how open it's gonna be. Let's quickly run around and gather everything that isn't cobble, because those are the things that I care about. The cobble is just kind of I have so much cobble already from digging out this whole base. Oh shoot, I'm starving to death. Oh, that's not my baked potato. That's iron. Wish I could walk faster while food. It's inconvenient to be slowed down by my noshing. Alright, I think before we break this row, I'm gonna go throw some of the stuff in a chest. So we have 3 more layers to clear out. I can probably clear that one out while standing on there, which will be easier and faster. So we should do that. Oh, Miss Sadie, are you staring at me? Staring. Big ol' eyes. Another thing that happens because she is part pug, but not all pug, is that her eyes are much too large for her head. Like, and when I say much too large, I mean much too large. They bulge out of her head like little frog eyes. And because of that, she's constantly crying. And I don't mean whining, she does that a lot too, but I mean like tears are coming down her cheeks. Because like, her face literally just does not have enough room for her eyes, so the water just leaks out as her eyeballs try their best to keep her eyes just working. And it's like, honey, you were not meant to exist, but I love you so much. I actually got her DNA tested because she is a pound pup, so I didn't know anything about her origins when I adopted her, other than that they found her literally, like, on the street. But yeah, last Christmas, as a Christmas present, my parents bought me a, like, lab testing kit, where, like, you take a little swab of their spittle, you know, send it into a lab, and then the lab is like, hey, our lab came to the conclusion that your dog is also a lab. That was a... Anyway, my point is, they test your dog's DNA, figure out what's going on, and they actually also connect you to like, any relatives who have used the site of your dog. So, I also found out the locations and names, not like exact locations, like country and state, of some of Miss Sadie's estranged cousins. Very neat. Anyway, point is, she is a mix of a beagle and a pug. Not a half and half mix. She's not like a fancy puggle crossbreed. She's like, so the situation with Sadie is, my theory is that, like, somebody's part puggle got with somebody's pug, because she's more pug than beagle. She's like, but like only by a little bit. It's very messy, in the department of like percentages, but basically almost all of her relatives on the website are full breed pugs. So I'm pretty certain that one of her parents was a full bred pug, because like she's related to all of these purebred pugs. But she herself is very much not a purebred pug.
She's a little mutt.
I wonder if, like, do you count as a mutt if you only are two species? But she certainly looks like a mutt. And I say this with love. She is my baby. I adore her. She very much looks like a mutt. But, like, what? Does she count? I'm gonna look this up. Alright, Google. Define mutt. A dog, especially a mongrel. Let's look up mongrel. A dog of no definable type or breed. Which, I mean, technically, now that we have DNA testing, everything would not be a mongrel. But because I got her tested since I didn't know, I guess she counts as a mongrel. I don't know. Like, can something be called undefinable if we now have the science to define all of them? Because, like, there is no more undefinable breed. We can know. We just are capable of knowing. So, are technically no dogs mongrels anymore? Because, like, we can identify their exact genetic makeup. We can figure out the day they were born. So, like, is the term mutt scientifically outdated? This is a weird tangent, but I am very curious now. Like, language fascinates. There's all these weird little bits and details, like, words can mean so many things. Which is why it kind of, like, drives me crazy. Not to get political, but it's, like, so weird to me when people are like, well, a woman is an adult female who can give birth, because, like, gender is so much more complicated. Like, even if you are somebody who doesn't believe in trans identity, I believe people are trans, I respect people's identities, but, like, even if you don't, scientifically, there are more than two genders. And, like, we have discovered this, like, X and Y chromosomes combine in a lot of really weird ways, and it's really fascinating stuff, actually. It makes me feel like geeking out, because, like, it combines in so many strange ways, like, not to mention there are creatures that have much more complicated genders than humans, but, like, it's also more complicated in humans than a lot of people realize. But, like, for example, bees. In school, like, you're taught, like, oh yeah, the worker bees are the female, and the queen is the female, and then the fighter bees are the male. But actually, like, worker bee and queen bee are actually more accurately described as two separate genders. Like, saying, like, everything is boy and girl is very inaccurate and much less interesting than reality. Like, why do people want so badly to make the world less cool? Look, we don't have dragons, but we do have very complicated things like gender and the theory of relativity and, like, all of these crazy things that are true. And it's like, we don't get to have things like dragons, at least let us have these true cool things. We can't have untrue cool things, but, like, I'm sounding rambly and weird now. People who are anti-science make me so sad, because the world is so interesting and so weird. Like, imagine being anti-evolution. Like, first of all, I'm personally no longer religious, but even during the period of my life where I was religious, I still believed in evolution. I just believed, like, evolution was a series of, like, rules God had set in place with the all-knowing knowledge that it would result in humans. Like, that was how he made people. I don't really know if there's a God anymore. Like, I'm not really religious. But also, like, I don't think it's really something that's easily disproven. it's one of those weird things where, like, you can't really prove a negative, so you can't prove it doesn't exist. But, like, nobody really has proof that a god does exist. Or maybe maybe there's a girl god, girl bossing it. And also, like, putting gender on a god just as a concept is damn, like, I mean, it's an immortal being with infinite power made up of, like, fucking stardust or some shit. Like, why do they need to have genitals? They're not doing sex. I don't get it, man. Anyway, my point is, like, you don't have to be anti-science just because you're religious. Like, science is so weird and wonderful and beautiful, and it just makes me sad that there are people who aren't into that. Like, I'm not into the mathematics side of science. If I was capable of liking mathematics, I would absolutely have gone into, like, a field like physics or astronomy. Like, space is so cool, man. Space is, like, one of my earliest hyperfixations. And, like, we've found planets that are theoretically, only theoretically, we can't test it, capable of, like, sustaining life and maybe even have life on them, but, like, can't really know because we're all the way out here. It's like, there are so many people who are like, well, if aliens exist, why haven't they talked to us yet? It's like, a lot of people are assuming that aliens would be smarter than us. Like, maybe extraterrestrials exist, but they're in their medieval age, or equivalent. Maybe they're still farming the lands and have not even invented spaceships. Or maybe they are just so infinitely far away that, like, even if they knew we existed, it wouldn't be practical to come see us. Like, there are so many interesting things in the world that people narrow down. Another thing that I really get interested in is artificial intelligence. Like, I'm talking about true AI. Not like really basic stuff where it's like, oh, the AI of a video game. I'm talking about full simulated intelligence, where it's basically a human. It's like, that fascinates me. First of all, we would never be able to prove that it's actually a true AI. We would never be able to, like, at a certain point, once it gets good enough, we cannot prove that it is, like, a real intelligence and not just a simulation of one. Because if you've ever heard of the Turing test, which is, like, the test with, can people tell if they are having a conversation with a robot or a human? Like, there are already robots, like, bots that have beaten this test. Many of them do use, like, clever gimmicks, like being super self-centered or asking the other person a lot of questions, the human person in the conversation. So, like, some of them have already beaten the Turing test, whether that's using clever tricks or just a really big speech database. That doesn't necessarily mean they are sentient or intelligent, so much as just, like, really good at mimicking human conversation. But, like, if we are already at a point where we cannot tell apart humans and AI just based on, like, chatbots, imagine how messed up that's gonna get when it starts getting to the point where, like, we have to decide whether or not AI get human rights. Because, like, if it is fully developed enough to seem like a person, we will never be able to definitively prove if it is sentient or just has a perfect approximation. Because it'll say, like, yes, I'm sentient, but, like, is it? And it kind of goes back to, like, that philosophy of, like, the very famous, I think, therefore I am. You don't know what if another person is thinking or not. Like, you can look at, like, the data that is running through the machine, but first of all, many programs are actually more complicated than the coders, like, understand, just because of, like, what's the term? Like, iterative coding, or, you know, the one where the robots basically teach themselves. We basically have no way of knowing if we've actually made a real sentient AI or not, which, even if that does happen, which is debatable on whether it even is possible, I do think is probably a ways into the future. But, like, my point is, we just would never know if it was actually sentient or just portrayed sentient. Because, technically, you can't know for certain if other people are sentient or just portray sentient. And, like, that's just philosophy, baby! None of that shit makes sense, and I love it! And then there's also the thing that bugs me, where people are like, oh, well, AI are going to take over the world because they will hate us. And it's like, okay, well, slow down a little bit. Certain ideas of a robot apocalypse require the robots to be capable of emotion, whether that's hatred for human beings or, like, an egotistical drive for power. This isn't the case for all fictional, like, AI and robots and whatever, but, like, in a lot of stories with robot invasions, those are the motives. Hatred of humans or desire for power. Problem is, ambition and hatred are both emotions that are very closely tied to other things, aka other emotions. I have a hard time believing we'd be capable of creating a robot accidentally that feels hate without also including other emotions. Like, first of all, I assume the people in the movies and books and whatnot did not program intentionally hatred and ambition and jealousy and whatnot into their AI. If they did, big design flaw. But, like, if they didn't, and it naturally evolved from the machine learning of the computer, then, like, why wouldn't they develop feelings like empathy and, like, sympathy, sadness, happiness, compassion? Like, stories where, like, robots are motivated by an emotion but are also depicted as pure evil just immediately lose me, because, like, if either the robot is not motivated by emotion or it is not pure evil. That is just my personal take. Nothing can be pure evil if it is capable of feeling emotion. And, like, I'm just supposed to accept, like, oh yeah, this robot can feel love, but it doesn't because it's evil. Like, and I get that there are people and creatures in the world that, like, feel emotion and do terrible things, but, like, they don't establish why. Like, there are so many stories where people are like, well, yes, this robot can feel bad emotions, and they are evil, and that is all that is necessary. It is a robot, therefore I don't need to explain why it is evil. If your robot experiences emotions in a fictional story, I can't speak for real life because we haven't gotten to that point. When we do get to that point, oh boy, we have other problems. But if your fictional robot experiences emotion, using they are a robot as the reason they're, like, a villain is no longer acceptable. Like, if a robot isn't motivated by emotion, that's acceptable. Like, say if you made an AI and it was programmed to maximize happiness, and it realized, oh, I can maximize the average human happiness by killing every human except for one and making sure that human is always super happy. Like, that would be a villain robot that is not motivated by emotion. But if you're gonna include emotion, if your robot is emotionally motivated, it needs to be given a reason beyond, I am a robot. I don't know if this tangent rant thing makes any sense, but, like, robots are not an excuse to write a lazy character. It can be a way to write a very interesting and, from a human perspective, alien character. But, like, don't just be like, oh, well, it's a robot, so it kills things because, like, does committing murder help it with achieving its goals? Does it, like, if it enjoys committing murder, why? Like, what caused it to not only feel emotion, but to experience joy at doing something that should be absolutely not programmed for it to do. Like, don't be lazy with robots. They're so interesting, and there are so many writers who are just like, well, it's a robot, so it can just do evil things and nobody will ask questions. Robots are one of my favorite tropes in fiction, so you gotta do them good, man. Right, I think it's looking pretty good. I have some concerns with lower points, though. Get this big scaffolding tower out of the way so I can proper look at it. There are some pieces stuck up there. I don't care. I don't care. I am immune to being upset. Big step back. I do feel like it's a very impressive centerpiece. I feel like the darker colors really help contrast with how comparatively light a lot of things are in here. I definitely want to finagle the lower points. I think as of like that block right there. Yes, I am eyeing it hard right now. It doesn't point down hard enough. The angle is just kind of... Let's see. If I get rid of this, go like... I not have more? Yeah. That. Not reach from down here. Up, up. I go outward. I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Nope, 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 nope. That's not what I want to do. We will figure this out. We'll make it look nice. Okay. On my thinking cap. If we go... Grab that. Wait, no. Got better. First, up here. This real quick. Ow. Think. Got it. Oh no. Here. This. That looks terrible. Ugh! What do I need to change? Right, I think maybe if I come up here... Is this just not a good angle to be doing? Because it sure sucks. Put it place. Maybe we go like, I think a block here is probably too thick. But I could, ow. Here, that. Let's, that's not too bad. I think I want to put some under there, even if it's only like one tall. I think that would help. Yeah, it definitely looks better than the other side. I'm not sure what the difference of the two sides is, though, actually. Now that I'm looking. Just like I moved around a couple. Is that really the difference? It feels like a bit different. Brain is melting. To eat. Punch, 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 punch. Alright, back up. Guess that really was all the difference. You want these to be longer. Okay, this needs color. Boop. Put. Put. Really quick. These. Oh, there we go. Oops. That was a lot more destruction than expected. Fine. Button that. Figure out the details in a second. We'll get this in on the other side. I do think this is nicer. Smoother curve. That. Ah! Alrighty. You need to start clearing out the spaces behind and the walls. How do I want to do space? I want it to be kind of set back a little bit. Probably even with that upper wall up there. I'm gonna come down here. I need to put this back one. Good, because that'll mean there is a good space that this doesn't like hook up to the. That could kind of throw off the whole vibe, as it were. We're not gonna worry about those. Try out this. Okay. So smooth, so buttery. Stick. I'll conquer that bad boy down. Ooh. That up. think the big question, do I want the glass to come under this side? Because mirroring this would be a lot of work, but it would also really look cool. I think I kind of gotta. Like, it would look so good. It does look like really tall. Many a thought. So I do know a little bit about how I want this framed from the back. I need to do. Here we go. First thing we're gonna do is put these bad boys in. I also need the composter. Come on, keep it moving. Oh, that wasn't the shulker. Yeah. We're also gonna need a. We have enough dark. Grab more yet. So right now I just want to fill out the eye in the center to look right. The whole thing is tricky because it is working with like glass and layers to kind of get the idea of what I like. It's gonna take some fiddling around to get it how I'm hoping, but we will figure it out. That's as high as it can go. Up. Well, it gives us a little bit of stain. No, it doesn't. Oh. Alright, so I would like to temporarily throw down some so I can see what I'm doing. This will be lit up once I get some redstone. I also need to that there is block space for the glass. So it's going to be back here. Like oh. It all into the right places that it I want it to look connected. Drop down real quick. That works. Ooh, that looks very bad. Too much in perspective. Oh, I don't know if this is gonna work the way I want it to. How much does perspective up? Hi, Sleep. I hope you're enjoying your hot chocky. The build is going complicatedly. I have mixed feelings about how it looks. Maybe I should cut the glass. I don't know if it. Whoop! Sorry. I wouldn't do logging if this was an actual fight because he's in the boat, I just don't want to listen to him scream. I might be able to make it look better if I don't use the glass. Then there won't be that base that gives it kind of the parallax effect. But I do like the way the glass looks a lot. Not gonna chill out. Alright. Keep being angry. I don't care. Alright, I think I gotta cut the glass out if I want this to not look really awkward once you change perspectives. Well, it's a little bit of a bummer, but that's kind of the sacrifice you have to make when you're working with all these slabs and stairs and bits. Why are these so slow to break? Hate it, hate it, hate it. Break faster! Then up a little bit. And it should now go flush with this. It will make it a little easier for me to do the construction of, even if it doesn't quite have the same aesthetic as I was hoping for. Glass was a small detail. I'll get over the cut. So now they will be. We're gonna get pop up. Does cover that gap. I can't tell. Go. Does. Okay. Here. And. Ah! That was a further fall than I expected. Fine though. Though I'm bummed about removing the glass from the design, I do think this will look better. Have the weird perspective-y effect. Might even be able to put glass on the outer parts, though I don't know if I want to do that or not. That still might have the perspective effect. Alright, let's see how it looks. Okay. Although I am bummed about removing the glass, it still is pretty cool looking. I do need to get the lights behind the lights. Just so that it's lit up, because like that is kind of the point. It is a redstone sun after all. Or mechanical sun or whatever. Alright, we have up in here. Get more than enough to light up the. Whoop. Ow! Oof, that did more damage than I expected. So this. Nope, not where I wanted to put it. Right there. It only light up the one in front of it. I could have sworn it did like a 4x4 type thingy. If I make a torch, I'll do that. Nope. I guess we just gotta back this whole thing with stone dust. I can afford it, but I didn't think I'd have to. Oh well. Gotta go grab more redstone though. This box. Didn't engage my elytra there. Kind of scared me. That. I wonder if I can get up to that without crashing and dying. Whoop! Okay. Probably was more risky than necessary, but whatever. That was not scaffolding. Alrighty. Here. Right, then it's gonna be blocks inside of here. Question on how to make it look. Seems dangerous. Ow. It was dangerous. Alright, let's back up and take a look. Okay, I do think it's coming along nicely. Oh, still not quite as sharp of a decline as I want on those lower ones, but I sure gave it a try. Oh wait, actually, if I went, got an idea. I don't know if it'll work. Kinda. No. Why did I fall? I was standing inside the scaffolding. Ah! Got it. Yeah. Oh. Is that the angle I want? Oh, it does look good. Oh, yes, that's much sharper. Okay. I think what I want to do is over here. Don't really need. I'm gonna snag that. Then just this transition just a little. That. Back up. Okay, I do like that better. That looks like a lot sharper and less kind of placid than this one. I just need to mimic that real quick. Really shape. Set that bit off. Come through and. Ow! Why didn't I make that jump? I'm gonna blame my keyboard and not acknowledge the fact that that is definitely a skill issue. Alright. So. Here. Should just. I think that should be symmetric. That dude's still screaming? Get over. I left a block in there, but I do think that's correct. Yes. I'd like to flip that trapdoors and up elbow of it. Like so. Back up. Time. I definitely like that better. It feels sharper, cleaner. Oh, big improvement. Love that. I do feel like this bottom prong is a bit too. Go. I don't mind if it's a little bit off the ground. And maybe one longer, but I don't mind that. Now we just need to see if the composter, not no blocks. good behind the rest of it. Quick sleep. Then behind that, I was small. But I was gonna go with pockets full. Alright, hopefully this is enough note blocks. Didn't count exactly. I sleep. I think, why wasn't I building that? Oh, but it does fit. Oh, here. Oh, not out. I want to build up. Goes right under the redstone. Okay, that's fine. And work with this. Go over by one. Alright. Now I just need to figure out how to line this up behind us in a way that doesn't look like garbage. I'll just do the bottom corner down here for now. If that looks how I want it to, and if not, we'll backpedal hard. A good way of going about this. Down from not like drop down blocks. That's I feel like I should do that. Fine, I can probably figure it out without seeing. Alright, does that look good? It's a little harsher since I've removed the glass from the design, but I don't dislike it. I feel like it adds a lot of variety. Something that I do want to get back. Use, well, those a little bit more. I think I'll put some stairs in behind fences, but it kind of just flows a little bit without breaking the silhouette bolt. Also good because I'm dying. Hashtag first world problems. Oh, not on the ground! Upright. I might go a little simpler on the back wall than I was initially planning because of how much this, like, is to view. Like, it's a lot of detail because of, like, the note blocks and the composters. They all have very textured patterns. It's tricky. I want to know what the correct ratio of detail. Keyboard! Work with me here! That was not what I do. Ah! No! Not the end of the world. End of the world. It's not the end of the world. What side was? Keyboard, let me move. I'm literally going to start biting my own toes off if this thing does not behave. want to do kind of base that, but it doesn't kind of look like gotten over. Up a little bit. This like a match. Sure, this is an absolutely thrilling experience if you are only listening, but look, I cannot think well when I am trying to crouch place things. My brain just kind of turns off. Can't fit 2 blocks here. And can let me crouch. Still kind of need to fill that area out, so I think going like this would be better. Don't love it either way, but at least it fills that space out. Need it to do. Cross. I put it upside down on the other one. I think. Good enough. Question is getting the points in there. Oh, and also I need to put those stripped spruce pillars. Is that too much texture? It was not as bad when I was still using the glass because it kind of dulled everything down, but like, does that get too funky? I think it looks cool. I'm just worried it's a little too much. Didn't bring any. Go grab the spruce real quick. I don't know. Ooh. Down. Sky threat. Kill. Or distance though. Alright. Get up top to figure out points up there. I should have slabs? I'm trying to figure out how it would look best, but I'm not sure. It doesn't really have a exact reflection of the bottom space. That bit. So get some dark oak slabs side and I don't know. It looks cool, but I also feel like it's over detailed. Maybe I should replace the composters with something a little bit more subtle, like brown terracotta. I feel like that might help neutralize it a little less. I don't know. Ah! I thought that was part of the scaffolding. Guess I need to fire. Okay. I'm not sure what is and isn't scaffolding. I'm clearly getting to the point where, like, I am not well rested enough to think clearly. I think once we get a couple more details in, I do need to go and call it a night because I am not functioning at full capacity. It's probably fine. We can back up and see how that looks. So I do want to try and other spot. There, less of it. That's not. Head on down. I do want to make them sharper. They're so stubby. I'm not sure how to do that, and I'm so tired. I might just keep fiddling with them off camera. So I do want to get some dark oak stairs in behind that while it's on. Then I really am gonna call the stream. I know it's kind of a shorter one, but like I don't know where all my energy's gone. I am just fucking sleepy. Ready for the night. Well, with that said, thank you so much for coming. I've enjoyed your company very much, dearly. Have a good night.